My husband had a 5 million yuan life insurance policy, with me as the beneficiary. He drowned while swimming. My mother-in-law reported me to the police as the killer. 2 officers took my statement in the interrogation room. Lai Su, where were you from 2 to 4 p.m. on July 14th? I was home all afternoon. Didn't go anywhere. Any proof you didn't leave? I shook my head. We don't have surveillance cameras at home. My daughter was at my mom's place. My husband went to visit his mother. I was home alone. How was your relationship with Wang Glixing? Married 10 years, rarely fought. He was busy with work. I ran an online store from home. Life was decent, but your mother-in-law reported to the police that you two fought often. Wang Glixing filed for divorce multiple times, and you always refused. I was silent for a few seconds. She has the nerve to say that. My husband found a younger, prettier woman outside. So she wanted a divorce. Why did you lie just now? I said seriously. I didn't lie. My husband had a high income, and I earned money to support the household. Our daughter was obedient. We were truly a happy family. Wang Lixing bought an accident policy years ago. You're the beneficiary, right? I nodded. Yes. If not for the mistress, my husband loved me and our daughter deeply, as long as I didn't divorce. She'd eventually get tired of playing around and come back to the family, according to your mother-in-law's company. Last month Wang Lixing requested to change the beneficiary. You had a huge fight with her. Again your mother-in-law stirring things up. I clenched my fists, suppressing the rage in my chest. Yes, she wanted to change it to my mother-in-law. She's very filial. You disagreed, so you plotted to kill Wang Lixing for the insurance money. I denied it outright. My husband's death was just an accident. I worked so hard to maintain our family. How could I kill him? The report on Wang Lixing's case comes out tomorrow. Don't leave the city. Be ready to cooperate with police anytime. When I got home, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law were waiting in the living room. Lai Su, you poisonous woman. My mother-in-law lunged at me, scratching, hitting, and screaming. Give me back Wang Lixing. You're a murderer. You killed my... I shoved her hard. She stumbled and fell to the ground. My sister-in-law quickly helped her up. Lai Su, what are you doing? You killed my brother and now you bully my mom? I gave her a cold look. Sister-in-law, you need evidence to speak. The police haven't arrested me. Because I'm innocent. If you slander me again, I'll report you to the police. My mother-in-law trembled with rage, pointing at me through gritted teeth. I already told the police you killed him for the 5 million insurance money. So you killed Wang Lixing. You think you can get away? My brother is watching you. They'll never let you get away with this. You'll get the death sentence. I rubbed my temples. I tossed my coat on the sofa. This is my home. You're not welcome here. Wang Lixing is dead. I don't need to put up with you two anymore. Get out. My mother-in-law wailed. My son's body is barely cold, and his wife is already lording it over us. In heaven, please make sure she gets arrested soon. I called the property management. I told them to send security upstairs to remove them. My sister-in-law had no choice but to drag my mother-in-law away. I lay in bed, exhausted. My phone buzzed twice. My husband's mistress sent me a prenatal checkup report. She said, my child can claim a share of Wang Lixing's estate. I replied, first rule yourself out as the killer, then dream on. The next day, I was summoned by the police again. Lai Su. Did Wang Lixing have any enemies? I thought for a moment. Probably not. She never mentioned any grudges. According to the autopsy, the cause of death was drowning. I breathed a sigh of relief. So it really was an accident, right? But she had consumed mango before death, which triggered anaphylactic shock while swimming. Unfortunately, I was shocked. My husband was indeed allergic to mango. We never bought mangoes at home. Preliminary judgment, Wang Lixing's death was not an accident. Police suspect murder. I froze for a moment, then grew angry. My husband was a senior executive at a large company. He cared about his image, got along well with colleagues, and was well liked at work. How could anyone want to kill him? Officer Zhao was sharp, catching the information in my words. You don't think it's revenge, but a crime of passion? I was furious. I don't know who the killer is. Anyone who knew about my husband's mango allergy must be someone close to him. What do you know about Wang Lixing's mistress? I wiped my tears. Her name is Liu Qin. She was my sister-in-law's classmate. She often visited my mother-in-law's house, and over time she hooked up with my husband. So your in-laws all know about Wang Lixing's affair. I was so wronged. Right, because I gave birth to a daughter. My mother-in-law kept pushing for a second child. I refused, and the conflict worsened. Fate long hoped for my divorce. Well, continue investigating your leads. Stay in the city and cooperate with police. Just as I lay down, my mom asked what the police said. Was Lixing's drowning an accident? I got water. Still investigating, uncertain. Mom reasoned, if ruled accidental, you'd get $5 million in insurance. Enough for you and Nguyen for life. I slammed my cup. Don't talk nonsense. People will suspect I killed him. Mom forced a smile. Keep your voice down. Nguyen just fell asleep. She's been sad, crying whenever Dad's mentioned. I asked for 2 weeks off school for her. I recalled my husband's face at divorce. I sneered. Besides beating Nguyen's father, he had no value. Police came for a third round, straight to my door. Lai Su, this is a search warrant. Someone accused you of killing Wang Lixing. We need to inspect the premises. I let them in. You said you run an online shop. Your computer and phone need checking. I handed them over. I've done nothing wrong, so search all you want. Found something. An officer shouted from the kitchen. Found a supermarket receipt in the trash. July 13th, mangoes purchased. I froze. Officer Zhao's eyes narrowed. Evidence is solid. We have the right to arrest you. I was taken to interrogation. Last statement, you said you never bought mangoes. This receipt proves you lied. I asked to see the store name. The white slip clearly read, Fakuiting Shang Supermarket. It clicked. That receipt wasn't mine. That store was near my mother-in-law's neighborhood. My daughter visits grandma weekly. My mother-in-law or sister-in-law takes her shopping. Doesn't your mother-in-law prefer boys? I nodded. She favored sons, but my husband was filial. He made our daughter love her grandma. For his sake, my mother-in-law didn't go too far. Seeing the officer's doubt, I added, my husband gave his family monthly allowance. Grocery trips cost little. My daughter came home on the 14th with shopping bags full of snacks. The receipt was probably underneath. Where were you July 13th at 11 a.m.? Any alibi? I thought back. That Saturday my daughter was at grandma's. I was at the courier station downstairs. There's surveillance you can check. If proven you're lying, you could face murder charges. In the small room, I was alone. 2 officers guarded outside. No phone inside. No TV, just a small skylight to tell day from night. I remembered my confinement period, my first fight with my husband. My mom gave me 8,000 yuan for a helper. My mother-in-law refused, saying give the money to her. She'd be the nanny. My husband said she's also his mom. I should listen. I agreed. Who doesn't want harmony? But once she moved in, she played mahjong and danced daily. For me, she cooked hot pot and BBQ. She nourished my husband in every way. At night, she said he was too tired to help. He said she was too old to stay up, so I became the laziest one, working 24/7. I remember her pointing at a basket of clothes, saying after 20 days of confinement, I'd be normal. Laundry and cooking wouldn't be delayed. I cried. My husband came home and scolded me. Mom knows best. Listen to her. If you make her angry, you deserve to cry yourself blind. I first thought of divorce, but I had no job. No income. I couldn't let my family raise my child. Looking at my daughter's sweet face, I told myself to wait. Last month, my husband suddenly wanted to change the insurance beneficiary. I asked, at our wedding you promised security. If you died, we'd be protected. He snapped, wedding talk was just to make you happy. Life is about reality. Can lying around put food on the table? I cried helplessly. All these years I worked and managed the home. I earned my own money. You still treat me like this. He looked at me with disgust. What woman doesn't go through this? My dad died early, and my mom raised 2 kids alone. She had it harder than you. Giving her security is nothing. I just can't win my husband over yet. So I negotiated with her. She ended the affair and returned home, and I agreed to change the beneficiary to her mother. I wanted to see who the mistress, mother-in-law, and husband would choose. After a while, footsteps echoed in the hallway. They pulled me back from my wandering thoughts. Officer Sun let me go. Lai Su, I checked the supermarket surveillance. At noon on July 13th, Wang Zhoujiao and Wang Nanan shopped at the same supermarket and bought mangoes. At that same time, you were indeed angry at Mom's stop. We want to talk to Wang Nanan. Don't worry. Just a few questions. Where is Wang Nanan? I asked worriedly. My daughter is emotionally fragile. Don't scare her. Well, be careful. As her guardian, you can accompany the entire police questioning. I returned to my mother's house with 2 officers. My mom turned pale with fear. Wang Lixing's death has nothing to do with our family. She was messing around and offended someone. I grabbed my mom. Don't interfere with the investigation. Stop talking nonsense. My daughter was drawing at her desk. Officer Sun spoke gently, asking about last Saturday. Did you visit a supermarket on the way to Grandma's house? My daughter nodded. Who did you go with? What did you buy? She answered sweetly. I went with Auntie. We bought fruits, vegetables, and milk. Also chips, nuts, and chocolate. Did you buy mangoes? Auntie bought them. She was making mango cookies for her boyfriend. Your aunt bakes cookies? Impressive. Did your dad eat the mango cookies? My daughter shook her head. Dad is allergic to mangoes. So Auntie bought yellow peaches too, making peach cookies for Dad and Grandma. The 2 officers exchanged glances. I also realized yellow peaches and mangoes look similar, and baked into cookies they are hard to tell apart. When did your dad eat the cookies? Sunday noon. Auntie took me to Dad's workplace. I gave the cookies to Dad. You only see Grandma on Saturdays. And return to Dad's workplace on Sundays. Yes, because school starts Monday. Do you still have the cookie bag? Dad threw it in the trash after eating. Officer Sun ruffled my daughter's hair. Nguyen, you're such a good girl. Well, come back if we have more questions. Thank you. Her gaze fell on my daughter's drawing. Nguyen, what are you drawing? My daughter's eyes were red. It's the ocean. Dad loved swimming most. He said the bigger the waves, the bigger the challenge. After the questioning, I walked the 2 officers downstairs. Do you know Wang Jiaojiao's boyfriend? I've met him a few times. My husband said they met online in the same city and started dating after registering. My mother-in-law never approved. Because that guy has no job and is a thug. From what Wang Nanan said, your husband was a strong swimmer. Yes, without the allergy triggering asthma, she wouldn't have drowned. As usual, before the case is solved, I, as the legal wife of the deceased, must stay in town for the investigation. I returned to my mother's house. My daughter was watching TV. My mom dragged me into the kitchen. If he was murdered, the insurance money is gone. 5 million, just gone. I turned on the tap, letting the rushing water mask my sobs. There's nothing we can do. That's her fate. My mom looked worried. Lixia, tell me the truth. You didn't do it, did you? Wang Lixing wanted a divorce and to take Nguyen's custody from you. He also forced you out with nothing. I made a shushing gesture to stop her speculation. Stop talking nonsense. Nguyen's mood just stabilized. We must not upset her. My mom frowned deeply. She seemed not to trust me. You should trust the police. They'll catch the killer eventually. Don't worry about it. After dinner, I'll go home. The police may summon me anytime. Having my daughter and mom meet is troublesome. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law waited at the unit entrance. Lai Su. You actually changed the locks. This is my son's house. I changed them as a precaution. It's my house too. Why did you change the locks? I studied their faces. They looked pale with anger, then I smiled. You 2 didn't come here for nothing. My mother-in-law stiffened. So what if we checked? I'm his real mother. How could I harm my own flesh and blood? My sister-in-law also said defiantly, Lai Su, you're vicious. You're the killer and you're framing us. My gaze passed through my mother-in-law and landed on my sister-in-law. I pulled out the receipt. You deliberately left it in the bag, didn't you? I was calculating the timing. You went to the supermarket on the 13th, had Nguyen bring the receipt and snacks back on the 14th. You colluded with the accident. I had no time to clean up. No time to throw away the receipt. You as witnesses and the receipt as evidence can that really convict me. How foolish. You should read more books, correct? My sister-in-law stomped furiously, kicked over a chair and ranted. He's my own brother. How could I harm him? I crossed my arms. Yeah, I wonder too. What was your motive? She raised her hand to slap me. I grabbed her wrist. Hit the nail on the head. You're committing assault. Want to be detained? Vindictive personality. Did your brother offend you? She struggled free. You murderer. He'll expose you to the media and let everyone judge you. I sneered. Fine, some clues and details. Netizens can analyze better. Post it online if you dare. She glared at me. Passers-by gathered at the noise. She backed down and whispered, "We came today mainly about my brother's inheritance. Make a list and give it to us soon." My mother-in-law went quiet, eyes darting. My deductions seemed to make her suspicious. She grabbed her daughter's arm. "Let's go. People are watching. Well, come back." I watched them leave, deep in thought. The killer wasn't found, but she was already eyeing the estate. Something was off. The next day, police returned my phone and computer after technical checks. "No suspicious activity on your computer, but we found chat records between you and Liu King." "What did you mean by ruling yourself out?" I admitted I suspected Liu King. My husband did want a divorce, but neither he nor Liu King was foolish enough for a love-suicide pact. Officer Sun asked if they had a normal relationship. I nodded. Yes, while he slept. I unlocked his phone with his fingerprint and looked through it. Liu King demanded he buy a house and car in her name. Did Wang Lixing agree? Of course not. He loved money. Liu King tried to threaten him with her pregnancy. She wanted his premarital assets. Delusional. First question. Why didn't you mention Liu King and Wang Lixing's fights? I was devastated. My husband was dead. I was grieving more than anyone. I couldn't recall everything at once, and I had no solid proof. To prove Liu King was the killer. That's your job. Officer Zhao pulled out call records. July 14th, noon. You called Wang Lixing. By 2 to 4 p.m., he drowned. What did you talk about? I recalled. Sunday noon, I parked at the North Riverbank. He swam there every Sunday afternoon. His car broke down and was at the shop. The company driver had been taking him around. Swimming was personal, so he couldn't use the company car. So I lent him mine. After the accident, I picked it up on the morning of the 15th. Officer Sun, you misremember. I said I was home on the 14th. Yes, I went home after dropping off the car. I didn't leave all afternoon. My mom picked up my daughter from school. Many colleagues can confirm. One more thing. You had a bad relationship with his family, but we found Wang Jiao called you often. And some calls from other cities. How do you explain that? It might be unrelated. She had many online loans. She couldn't pay, so she borrowed from friends. After graduating, she kept borrowing to cover debts. She borrowed from almost every platform. Interest piled up to over 500,000. Her contacts got blown up. Both my husband and I got collection calls. She asked me for money, but all our money was with my husband. I couldn't help. Did Wang Lixing help pay her debts? Probably not. I told you, he loved money. Only my mother-in-law could touch his assets. Fine, we'll contact you if needed. My mom was worried but afraid to ask me. She stayed home with Nguyen and sent my dad to get news. Suzu. Mom and dad are worried. Nguyen already lost her father. Mom can't lose you too. My dad played the emotional card. I poured him hot water. Don't worry. Wang Lixing's death had nothing to do with me. He was Nguyen's real father. Why would I kill him? My dad hesitated. The police really don't suspect you? I thought carefully. They had two suspects now, Liu Qin and Wang Jiao. Liu Qin wanted his house and car. Police would check her phone and income. As for Wang Jiao, she personally gave him the fruit. Solid evidence. I went to his office to collect his things and asked his assistant. Police had already tested the office. Taking the cake order bag isn't cleared by one mistaken excuse from Wang Jiao. My dad already found out Wang Jiao can't be dismissed as Wang Lixing's biological sister. So what if she's his sister? My mother-in-law favors sons over daughters. Money goes to the son. Care falls on the daughter, spoils the son and lets the daughter suffer. Wang Jiao owed over 500. Couldn't she resent that? My dad looked shocked. Over 500K? God, how many years of work would that take to save? Was she into gambling or something? I shook my head and poured coffee. Neither. Wang Jiao's first love was Jin. Her current boyfriend was a punk with dyed hair and designer clothes, living it up. Gambling and pretending to be rich. Wang Lixing and my mother-in-law tried countless times, even hitting her. Nothing worked. Wang Jiao refused to break up. She'd been starved of love since childhood. The punk sweet talk spun her around. Wang Jiao worked at a milk tea shop. Her wages couldn't cover the punk's spending sprees, so she borrowed money for love. Supporting her boyfriend and burning cash. Me dad sighed. saying my mother-in-law was tough her whole life. Never expected such bad luck. I slowly stirred my coffee. Yeah, truly pitiful. I calmed my dad down and sent him home in a cab. My car was parked downstairs and couldn't be moved. An unfamiliar number called me. I guessed who it was. Liu King. What exactly do you want? I'm pregnant and still suspected of murder. You're the one who killed him. I said calmly. Liu King, your phone's background was confiscated, right? Let's meet somewhere. He'd gotten a new number. I was still using my old phone, likely under surveillance. Better to talk face to face to settle things cleanly. The cafe, not crowded at night. Liu King showed up in a cap and mask, sneaking around. Why are you framing me? I rested my chin on my hand, watching him. I'm just telling the truth. Are you nervous? Clearly, he wasn't doing well. Haggard and worn out, Liu King gritted his teeth. I was pregnant. How could I kill Wang Lixing? I was counting on him to buy a house and car. I couldn't help laughing. Your dream's not over yet. Look at you, hiding like a mistress used to sneaking around. Liu King lashed out at me. Lies, you used to seem so proper, never thought you could kill. I laughed in anger. You're spreading rumors. I don't mind adding another charge against you. I pulled a document from my bag and handed it to him. I was planning to sue you anyway. Consider this a heads up. Bigamy or pregnancy is the evidence. Add aiding a criminal gang, and you'll lose for sure. The allowance Wang Lixing transferred to you over the years. The jewelry and clothes he bought you, your meals and hotel stays, all marital property. I have the right to reclaim it. Liu King's pupils dilated, furious, and tore the document in half. Who knows if your list is real or fake? I was confident the court will verify. When Wang Lixing was asleep, I saw his transfer records, even though he drowned. His phone fell into the river and hasn't been found, but your phone is still with the police. I'm sure the marital property you spent exceeds my list. Start paying it back slowly. Liu King glared at me hatefully. His eyes blazed like fire. He touched his belly. Don't forget. I'm still carrying Wang Lixing's child. I sipped my coffee calmly. Eyes. Wang Lixing is dead. This child will be born without a father. My mother-in-law won't help raise it. I heard you're from a rural family with several siblings, and your family can't help either. You'll have to work, raise the kid, and fight me in court. Liu King's face grew paler. I clicked my tongue. Just thinking about your life is exhausting. I suggest I sue you first, force you to repay the money. After your child is born, you can sue me for inheritance. Oh, and the court will need a paternity test, proving the baby is Wang Lixing's. Of course, there's a win-win solution. Liu King stared at me hard. What do you mean? I tapped the table twice. Abort the child. Then you won't have to face a lawsuit. Liu King fell silent. Had gotten pregnant not out of deep love for the child, but with another purpose. After police investigation and all this turmoil, he was exhausted and fragile. I leaned back in my chair leisurely. You're still young. You can have another child and start over. Do you want to fight to the death over this money, or go your separate ways in peace? The choice is yours. I trusted Liu King to weigh the pros and cons and understand the logic. The police came to meet again. This time they asked to take the dashcam from my car. We checked the repair shop you mentioned. On the morning of July 13th, your husband's car was sent for repair. His tires were damaged on July 12th. Someone deliberately slashed them. Yes, my husband is an executive with a busy job. He had no time to wait at the shop. Besides, we had my car as backup, and work provided transport. He wasn't in a hurry to pick it up. The mechanic said Yal just replaced the dashcam 2 weeks ago. It can record for about 10 hours, even when the engine is off, right? My old dashcam was a freebie from buying the car. Poor quality, blurry and outdated. So I got a new memory card. I haven't touched it. There's no surveillance nearby. But your car may have captured the scene. We need to take it for investigation. The dashcam shows. On July 14th at 2:10 p.m., my husband went swimming as usual. He loved challenges. He loved wild swimming. A tanned man, bare-chested in tight pants, got into the water. He and my husband exchanged words, but they were too far away to hear clearly. Then they started fighting in the water. My husband, physically exhausted, was losing. Actually, it was an allergic reaction. The tanned man pressed my husband's head underwater. He did it repeatedly. Seeing my husband stop moving, he panicked and hurriedly swam back to shore and fled. This tanned man was Liang Zai, my sister-in-law's beloved boyfriend. And the real murderer, my sister-in-law and Liang Zai, were arrested for intentional homicide. Liang Zai was the mastermind, my sister-in-law was his accomplice. Some residents watched from below. I hid in the crowd watching. The thing my mother-in-law couldn't believe happened. She wailed heartbreakingly. He's your own brother. How could you bear to harm him? My sister-in-law nearly broke down. He was my own brother. Why wouldn't he help pay my debts? I was being hounded by debt collectors. I begged on my knees, but he turned a blind eye. My mother-in-law lunged and clawed at Wang Jiao. If not for that thug, you wouldn't be drowning in debt. I love Liang Zai. Liang Zai loves me too. He said someday he'd spoil me like a princess. He'd give me the best treasures in the world. Trader money. Wang Jiao requested to see me. Lai Su, I want to see my mom. She refused. I have no one else. Please just pass a message for me. I'm sorry to my mom. I spoke into the receiver. It's not your fault. Your boyfriend blew through everything, took online loans to gamble and book out bars. Rented fancy cars to play rich. I heard she owed over 700,000. Wang Jiao's face went numb. Yeah, together we owed 1.3 million. If my brother had been willing to help us, no one would have gotten hurt. I comforted her. Your mother will forgive you. She's your real mom. Wang Jiao's eyes were dull and lifeless. I never actually wanted my brother dead. You said Liang Zai ran with gangs. Have Liang Zai scare my brother, and he'd give us money. Lives matter more than money. I gave him cookies. I was just afraid Liang Zai would get beaten up. My brother was a strong swimmer. So good in water that Liang Zai couldn't beat him. We only wanted money. How did he end up dead? Wang Jiao sobbed loudly. The visit ended emotionally. Days later, at my husband's funeral, my mother-in-law's hair turned white overnight. She aged a decade. After seeing off the guests, I sat beside her. Mom. I saw Wang Jiao. She apologized to you. My mother-in-law stayed silent. I continued. She went to abort the baby. Your son only left behind Yuan as his bloodline. And she's a girl. Don't be too disappointed. I spoke earnestly. Your son's estate is split in half. As his legal wife, I inherit half first. The remaining half is divided into 3 parts. Yuan and I take 2. Your share, you'll have a lawyer deliver to your home. My mother-in-law jerked her head up, glaring at me. So you've taken my son's money after all. I stood up with a helpless smile. Mom. I wanted to grow old with your son. I wanted to honor you like my own mother. I wanted us to be a family. But you said marriage can never outrank blood. Did you forget? My mother-in-law was stunned. A shame you never needed this alien daughter-in-law. Then I wish you a lonely life in your old age. I'm leading. Behind me came my mother-in-law's wails and heavy thuds. Epilogue. Officer Zhao and Officer Sun were writing the closing report. Did Lai Su never check the dashcam memory card beforehand? He really didn't know who the killer was. The forensics team examined the card. It was brand new, first-time footage. Officer Zhao twirled his pen. I keep feeling Lai Su knew her husband would die. How else would the car repair timing be so perfectly coincidental? The tire was punctured by a nail at the construction site during her husband's Friday inspection, not by Lai Su. He wasn't there. We need evidence, Officer Zhao analyzed energetically. You said Wang Lixing gave Lai Su no money while alive, had affairs, and bullied her with his mother. Now he's dead. If ruled accidental death, Lai Su gets the insurance as beneficiary. If it's murder, Lai Su inherits the estate as spouse. Either way, she's free from the mistress and free from her in-law's abuse. Wouldn't you refuse to save someone you knew was targeted? Officer Sun chuckled. Your premise is flawed. If an old lady collapsed on the road, you wouldn't save her if you knew she was dying? Officer Zhao was stumped. Sun patted his shoulder. Looking world-weary, a woman's heart is unfathomable. Catching the killer honors the dead. Another case awaits. Hurry up and finish the report.